Hello everyone, welcome to join today's training. Today we are going to introduce user prompt and the system prompt. And if you do not quite clear what it means, the prompt, I recommend you go to our training unit 1, then to understand what is prompt basic definition, and then will be better to understanding this session. Okay, today we are going into dive how large language model like GPT works, especially focus on system prompt and then user prompt. And then we will introduce the powerful framework called STAR. The code STAR was invented by the Singapore team, and then this team win the first round worldwide AI prompt engineering race with the first place. By end of this session, you will be understand number 1, the difference between system prompt and then user prompt. Number 2, when and how to use them effectively. Number 3, how CodeStar fits this and how you can use it in your work, especially for the marketing job. Okay, let's start with some definition and then simple and a simple analogy to help you wrap your hands around this concept. Once we mention prompt, so you can see here, primarily it's divided into two types of prompt. Number 1, system prompt, and then number 2, that is user prompt. The system prompt is the background instruction that guide you how the AI behave throughout the conversation. Normally, in entire conversation, we need only one-time definition. And then user prompt, that is like a specific task. It's actually the question, the message you're sending to your AI daily basis. Then let's go to the system prompt introduction. Then what is the system prompt? All right, let's picture this one. If you are a CEO of a big company, every morning before every meeting start, you probably give your assistants a briefing on how they should approach the day. For example, be professional, prioritize urgent tasks, and keep communication clear and concise. In this world of the AI, this briefing is like system prompt. A system prompt is the background instruction, and then get how the AI behaves through entire conversation. It sets the tone, style, or what context in which the AI operates. Think of like laying down the ground of role. For example, the system prompt. You are helpful and knowledge-based assistance. Your response in professional tone and be provided accurate, concise information. You can see from this prompt that it was typically there was no specific action need to be done. We only tell the AI how could do will be in line my request, but I do not even mention any request yet. So you can see this prompt is typically invisible to the user, but it helps to ensure AI stay on track and behave consistently. This is like setting the foundation before the action even begin. The system prompt define the system prompt define who the AI is for the entire session. So it's like we tell the AI, who are you? What could be, how could you do things in right way? So that like this way. It's the system prompt like we tell AI, who are you? How could you handle the task I inform you in right way? So that is like this type of things. By end of this one, we still never mention what is actually the task. We just told them how to do the task and then who are you, like this way. So let's go for introduce another part of prompt, like we mentioned before, that is user prompt. So now let's move into the user prompt, user our analogy. Once your assistants have background information, we see that is the system prompt. And then you, as the CEO, start giving specific tasks through the day. For example, sending email to the marketing team, prepare the report, how to summarize the meeting memo. A user prompt is like the specific task. A user prompt is like this specific task. It is actually the question or command you're giving to AI to be execution. It's directly situationable and then depends on what user want at that moment. For example, let's say we write down one of user prompt. How can I improve my Facebook advertisement campaign for better engagement? For example, could you write down one of advertisement for Facebook to increase our sales or to increase our impression? So that is very specific request. So that That means the user prompt. And then that is the everyday you sending to your GPT and then GPT working for you. So this prompt directly instructs the AI perform a task or answer a question. In marketing term, it's like asking your marketing assistant to create social media strategy, creating the social media contents, also can be creating the content plan and so on. Probably you might be very interesting or might be a little bit confused. What is the key difference between system prompt and the user prompt? So you can see the screen over there. So just like I introduced, normally system prompt set up one times for your entire conversation, even the 1 day, 2 days, like this way. And then the user prompt, that is actually the task you sending to your AI working for specific task and purpose. You might be sending 100 message, but all of the message or the request or the task only based on list requirements or the rule. So the rule like who are you working about AI? The rule like number one for AI, who are you? And then what is the right way you are working? So like this way. We can be make a little bit analogy like we can compare it to driving a car. The system prompt like setting the GPS. For example, drive safely and then within the speed limitation. And then the user prompt is the dedicated action. For example, ask, take me to the nearest coffee shop, take me to Unimart marketplace. So that is the key difference between the user prompt and the system prompt. Okay, now let's us go for one of use case study. For example, right now we are going to boosting one of luxury watch and then targeting men age around 35 or 50. And then the AI can be writing the contents to handle this task. Then originally, I think probably you will be writing this type of prompt. Create an Instagram or Facebook copy for our new collection of a luxury watch targeting men age around 35 to 50. And then on top of that, if we considering today we're learning the system prompt, then we can be also provide more detailed background information. We can define the AI. Who are you? What is your behave? Is the good way for to working for me? Then let's starting try to only use the user prompt first, and then we use the system prompt together with the user prompt. Then we check any difference over there. Okay, let's us copy paste the user prompt first. Okay, you can see right down here, Instagram advertisement copy for luxury watch, experience time, craft leader, a statement of legacy for men who operate for the finer things in life. We also keep this user prompt, add on the system prompt as well. Let's try. Let's try, is there any difference happen? So in the system prompt, you can see we define AI is the marketing experts, especially for luxury brand. And then you use sophisticated high-end language to engage the rich guy. So let's go for it. So you can see from the new generation, I think we can see the wording was quite different comparing with previous one. So master of the art of time, that's obviously better than this one, right? And then you also can say a legacy on your wrist. Also the exclusive redefined. So you can see comparing the previous and the previous one and the current one. So this one is more or less better way to present your idea in Instagram advertisement copy. So that is actually the specific usage when you want your AI to do something. Then you might be defined AI to behave, AI knowledge in better way. Use the system prompt first, and then use the user prompt second to ask the detailed task like this way. Okay, just like our introduction. So normally we recommend you combining the system prompt and the user prompt when you working for your target. The system prompt used to define AI working behave, and then define what type of style, tone need to be written down as the response. And then user prompt was used for sending AI to specific tasks. Then here we go for another example. You can see here, the system prompt here we write down your sustainability focus on the marketing experts. This define who AI are. And then you speak in tone that is inspiring and educational about eco-friendly practice. Then here, define the tone and style. And then use a prompt, we define the specific task. So let's say the writing a Facebook post from our new eco-friendly running shoes, blah, blah. Combine the system prompt and the user prompt and the request ChatGPT can generate one of Facebook posts for us. Here, I already copy paste information here, and then I simply write it down system prompt, user prompt, and then let's go. So you can see here, then the entire Facebook post was generated from the ChatGPT and then running for pennies, one step at a time. So based on title, we already see that is extremely in line with our system prompt. What type of behave, what type of tone we are use. And then here, that is also in line with the Facebook post structure, use some of emoji, and then use different paragraph. So then it's starting from the I worrying and the feeling is blah blah. So here is the GPT generated the Facebook post based on the title and the content, and then also the emoji was along with this post. We can be see the entire content is extremely in line with our system post tone and then the style request, and then also in line with our user prompt request was generate wall of formats for the Facebook. And then you can see here also generate a hash code for different topic for easy finding or for SEO optimization. So that is entire things. What is the best practice combination system prompt and then user prompt. After we introduction the best practice combination between system prompt and user prompt, probably you might have the question, is there any good practice or framework we can be used for better way to use AI? For sure, let's us to introduce one of good framework for you guys. The framework named after CoreStar. So CoreStar is writing here. So this one was already get the first place in the worldwide AI prompt engineering race. The winner was Sile Tao, which was coming from Singapore. You can see what means the CoreStar. That means core. The C means context. So what is actually situation or background? We need to be AI to know. O means objective. What is the goal we need to be reached? Style, so how should the AI communicate? And then tone means the emotion tone, formal, casual, I like have this way. Audience means who is the targeting audience to read out these contents. And the response, what is desired format, output. So based on the entire structure, you can see we clearly introduce the background information to AI by context. We also clearly introduce what is the goal we want to reach by AI by objective. And then we also tell AI what type of communication way you need to be considered. And then what type of tones you need to be used to call for the emotion. And then also we also tell AI what type of audience the generated text information to be read. And then the last one, the response, what is the desired output we want to AI to go for. So you can see here is the entire structure. And then probably you will have question, leverage CoreStar framework. Is it combination both system prompt and user prompt? Then I think probably my answer is yes. You can see this structure here. Here that is CoreStar framework. Context, objective, style, tone, audience, response. So based on that, we separate two type of prompt. Number one, for sure, system prompt. The system prompt, normally we only config one time. Then you can see here is we config the context. So what type of situation and background you want to be the AI to know related content generation. And then the style. So what type of way the AI need to be communication with the user. And then tone should already introduce. You can see here that one of three keywords belong to the system prompt, because for entire communication, it's only require config one time if your topic was not changed. And then here the user prompt, you can see the object. So and then audience, then response. It's also obviously the object. Each of user prompt, we will have a different object. Then we need to be write down our object. And then might be even for the same content, in case our audience was not the same, then we also need to be reconfigure our audience. And then also maybe we have a different format to be generated. Then we reconfigure the response. That is how the call star related with the system prompt and the user prompt. So what is we can see here is the call star is a good combination between system prompt and the user prompt. Also, the call star already verified through the worldwide level competition in terms of efficiency, and then efficiency in terms of how we can control the AI to generate content. So you can see here that is the one of example. So call star prompt for marketing. You can see from here, number one contact. You are the promoting a luxury watch collection. That's the background. And then number two here, objective. Create one of Instagram advertisements. Number three, what is the style? Use sophisticated accessories language. So that is style. What is tone? So engage and aspiring. What is tone? Engaging and aspirational. And then who is audience? The high income man, age 35 to 50. Response, a short, engaging copy. So you can see, based on this overall introduction, whatever the AI or the human being can be understand the entire information more clearly. For sure, they can be executed your task in more precise way. Then we go for the practicement example, how we use the core star framework plus system and the user prompt for the marketing. So let's say in this action, system prompt, you are the luxury brand marketing experts like before. Your tone is sophisticated and aspirational. So what is the user prompt here? They use the core star mode. So the context, we are running a new luxury watch. Objective, write a Facebook advertisement. Style, use elegant, perceived language. Engaging, yet formal. That is tone. And then audience, man, age 35 to 50. Interested in luxury. And then response, a short, and catchy, and add copy. Then let's try to copy paste the information into the our ChatGPT to check what happened over there. After copy into ChatGPT, I recommend you do a few change here, following what is we have already introduced in the United One. So that is the structure about system prompt, and then here we can be write down the user prompt. You can see the user prompt here. We write down this way, and then we use the detail separator, context, objective, style, and then tone, and then audience, and then the final one is response. Okay, I think we can go right now. You can see here that is content, timeless elegance, crafted for modern man. So that is entire information the ChatGPT already write down here. So you can see introduce our latest masterpiece, a watch that 10-second time, processing, engage rate, exclusive design, and then tailor for those who seek exceptional. So based on this information, we backward to checking what is write down. I think that is totally in line with our expectation. I assume major part of your guys do not following this way before, but I highly recommend from today and onwards, once you start to use the AI, you can try to following the core star mode. And then that means the more you use this core star framework, then the more control you can be control your AI to working for you. So that is the entire background logic. Okay, let's go back. You can see that is entire training session for today. What is key takeaway? I hope you guys can be remember. That's probably there was three things. Number one, system prompt to set all rule for AI behave. That is we already introduced. Next one, or number two, user prompt a specific request that you can guide AI to complete particular task for you. Then last one, we introduced the core star framework to help you to craft comprehensive and effective prompt by addressing every key components. So, and then beyond that three parts, I personally also highly recommend from today and onwards to start use the sensor prompt, user prompt, core star framework to write down your prompt to communicate, to control your AI, who can be better working for you. Okay, here I write it down in our training page is some example. After this training, you can be reading out our contents by yourself. That is different keywords you can be used for the system prompt and the user prompt. For example, role, that is define the role of AI should be assumed. For example, you are the data analysis. Skill, let's specify what type of AI is required. Number 2, skill is specify the AI required expertise. For example, experts in Facebook performance analysis. Tone, describe the tone or mood. Friendly, engaging is one of example. And the style, define the writing style. For example, the creative, conversational, might be also the storytelling, anything you want. And then, for example, the constraints, that is set some limitation or rule for the response. For example, keep the response under 150 words. And then that is very obviously with the different keywords, you can be control different part of your AI in terms of AI working mode. And then here, that is the user prompt. You can be see what is task. And then in the task, you can be also define task number 1, number 2, number 3. And then also it can be go for length. What is type of housing summary, how many words we require it. And then data source, we can be also request data or research to back to the output. Comparison and a call to action. So all of these keywords, you can be try it one by one, and then following the core style framework, and then you can be build up your own style. And so there was no such very complex requirements for AI. In case you can be introduce your task is clear, and then your AI can be executed the task and then give you a more clear result. So that is a simple rule over there. That is all for today's training. And then before we close this session, let's go back to our homework. So you can see, before we go for the homework, let me quickly introduce. So there was a 2 type of script for the course. Number 1, English. Number 2, Bangladesh. So if you do not like read it out in English, then you can read it out this version. And then here, this is work assignments for Unit 2. Okay, you can see as the Unit 1, we still have 3 homework assignments. Number 1, so that is a prompt classification. That means here is a 6 prompt. You need to separate or categorize. So each of prompt belong to the system prompt or the user prompt, and then you can write it down here. The second homework assignment here is you can see the second homework is the marketing content task. You need to use both of the system prompt and then user prompt to describe the task. And then the task detail here is that what is products, a new line of organic skincare products. And the audience here is environmental consumer and the age from 25 to 40. Objective here is increase awareness and drive the sales. And then here that is example. And then I would like to see your guys how to you finish this task. Please try to write it down your system prompt, user prompt, and then go for the GTP. You need to copy paste both of your prompt and then the GPT generation into the assignments. And last one is the same things we write for the same action. Please write down in core style framework. So that is the same action. You can try any difference. You use the system prompt and the user prompt, or you use the core style framework. Which one is better? Which one can be better control? So that is today's homework. And then as usual, we also write down in Bangladesh version. If you do not like reading English, then you can be also reading the Bangladesh version as well. Okay, that is all for today's session. Thank you for learning and then waiting for your guys finish the homework. Bye bye.